Hey everybody, this is Frank Abbruzzino. If you're just seeing this, I'm doing some sharing. I usually give it a few minutes to go out on my notifications to everybody to let them know that I'm live. If I see your comments yesterday, for some reason, I could not see the comments popping up on the right-hand side. So generally speaking, if you comment and I respond. If you ask questions, I respond and all that good stuff. The problem is Facebook Live doesn't always work that well, doesn't always function that well, so hopefully I'll get it. I'm going to try something else today, too. I'm going to go ahead and cover the local news, and there's a ton from the last 24 hours. So I'm going to go over that, and I'm going to give you guys keywords that you can go on to the uncensoredreport.com at the top right-hand side in the search bar and search it out in case you missed those reports. And you'd like to see more on it because there's some interesting stuff out there, and I know a ton of information gets spread around. You don't always see it. Okay, let me share this on one more page, and then we're good to go. I have too many pages, probably. Let's see. All right, this is the last one, and boom. Okay, the first issue I put out, and what I do is I go back over the 24 hours since my last report, and I put out about the Equifax. And more and more information is coming out here, folks. I found out that not only did this breach happen, this hack, a month ago, and we're just finding out today, it happened another one 5 months ago, which never was released. And I also found out that Equifax just carries a ton of data and information, even more so than your standard operations out there, even more than the IRS, they said. Now, I went to their page, Equifax, I think it's .com, and you can put in your last six of your social, your last name, and they'll tell you if you were possibly impacted by it. Hey, Andy. And if you were, they give you this free stuff to basically monitor your credit, plus $1 million insurance in case somebody uses your credit because you're a victim of that. I also noticed that there was a lawsuit today that one of these clowns up in Tampa, one of those fly-by-night lawyers, put out there, but you're probably going to see some class actions because it's pretty severe. And the fact that this happened a couple times and they didn't even notify us is amazing. The shelter controversy where Holla came out and slammed the county. County. Hey, Edie. I requested the elevation because I was amazed that it was 19 feet. And believe it or not, the Venice Community Center is 19 feet. I don't know why the county thought it was 13. Also it used to be part of that whole shelter concept along with Taylor Ranch because there's this mailer they sent me and I was going to put it on and I didn't. And it says 19 feet elevation there, Hurricane 3, Category 3, which it is. I found out the roof was actually fixed prior to the hurricane. So you got a hurricane, Category 3, elevation 19 feet, and it's the roof is fixed. So it should be eligible. The problem is it wasn't because it wasn't on FEMA. What I did learn through this whole process is basically the county EOC takes over. And with the internal agreements, everybody does what they say. They dictate everything. And they have it set up that way. You can only go to FEMA because of liability reasons. When Venice bucked it, they caused some confusion. There was a lot of different concerns out there. They didn't want to be tied to it because the community center was not part of the approved FEMA ones. And if someone were hurt, if the place was destroyed, the county would be on the hook. And that's why they stepped away from it, I believe, personally, from what I've been looking at. School meals that came out, I posted some today. The lines are so long. My daughter always actually just brings a lunch, but I asked her about it. She said, normally, if you want something, you got to wait. And she said it's even worse now. People are just in that line all throughout the day. So you possibly got some abuses of the system, which I think everybody expected, right? At least I did. All right. New rules for the elderly. This was cool. Came out of Tampa. And Governor Scott's pushing this. He's not happy, obviously, and rightfully so, with the 8 individuals that died over in Miami. So he's giving these guys a timeline to come up with generators that, not just generators, but generators that can support air conditioning if the heat ever goes out or if the electric ever goes out again, so that we don't have another situation like what happened over in Miami. So that's a good thing. unlicensed contractors. There's been a few media sources putting this out. One that I like the best, I think I put two out. One from WFLA talking about an actual contractor that got busted. I like WWSB's, though, because they told how people are dressing up like FPL and coming out to your house, how they're saying they're FEMA and coming out. So you got to watch these guys. It's a shame, but that's the society we live in nowadays. And so if on any of these things, when I'll say the key word generally when I'm describing it, and like I said, just go to the uncensoredreport.com, search box at the top right, and type in that keyword, and you'll find any of these reports, like that one, unlicensed, uninsured. Any of those two keywords, you'll pull it up. Aerial missions for the spring. This is a concern of mine. I follow closely, you guys. A lot of water laying around here. We're going to start what I think it takes a week for the mosquitoes to start coming out in full force. So this is something I still, believe it or not, it's been almost 2 weeks and I still got this damn cold. So look for that. The mosquitoes, they're going to be spraying. I'm not a fan of the stuff they spray and all that good stuff, but what do? You know, you got to combat the mosquitoes somehow. Let's see, the accident on 75, another one. This is a daily occurrence on 75 where it closes down. I believe there was a motorcycle accident this morning on 75 over by Sumter that closed it down. Slow down, folks. I don't know what you're all in a hurry for. Let's see, what else we got? Losing your job with Irma. I put that up there. It was out of Tampa or St. Pete, but it's happened to a few people that lost their jobs through Irma. And this report, basically, woman loses job for keywords. It tells you what some of your rights may or may not be, and that you have to know and understand your rights up front. Otherwise, you may lose your job in this type of situation if it ever occurred again. There is the FEMA unemployment relief that you can get that I put the information up there before on, but you know, will you be approved and will the money get there in time? This poor lady here is like another one with the PTSD I put up yesterday, where a lady, she is stressed out. She's lost her house. She's got no electric. She lives paycheck to paycheck. How is she going to afford everything? So you got all that stress just coming down on you. And then you may have lost your job like this other individual. So a lot of people are on edge. And I've noticed that even with the police reports, you're seeing a lot more domestic arrest. And I started noticing that during Irma, starting to wean off a little bit, but a lot of people are on edge. They were on edge just thinking about the hurricane that's coming. This guy too, and I don't think you can see my phone if I put it up there now. I've shared it a few times. It's an individual out of, I believe, up towards Newtown. And if you Google Sarasota Police missing child alert, it's this individual. He's 14. He disappeared about 2 weeks ago. I've shared it several times. Finally, the police department puts a missing child out yesterday, so it got more media attention. And they're trying to find him. Some people are concerned that something bad may have happened. At first, they thought it was a runaway, but now they're a little concerned. So I noticed after yesterday's show when I brought it up, there was 14 shares versus none when I originally posted it. So you guys are getting better with it. And it's amazing because I got this dog here. All right, here's the amazing part. And I know you guys can't see it there. Right here, I got the story about this young man. 14, missing, Sarasota. A lot of worried people. Right above that, I got a story about a red-brown dash hound. The missing kid in Sarasota got 5 shares. 5 shares. The dash hound, the very next story, got 345 shares. Now, I agree. I have 3 little dogs. They're usually hanging out in here. I don't know where they're at. They're important to me too. But is it more important to share a dash hound that's missing 345 shares versus a kid that's 14 that's been missing for 2 weeks? No. I don't understand why people won't share. Why? It's amazing. They'll sit and comment and share. I put up some of that and I said about the pier being a little rickety. And someone said, oh, we don't have time for that. But the same person was on another thread just yakking away about something so stupid. It was one of those ridiculous threads that I put on the wall. And it's like, okay, were you being a smartass here, or did you really not have time? Okay, Florida Power and Light. This was interesting, and this, about the solar. And I know they had a lot of lobbyists out there fighting the whole solar campaign. I didn't read it in full, to be honest with you. I'm familiar with it. So look it over. You can see some of the efforts out there by the large companies. Obviously, they don't want solar out there. They don't want it. They want things to remain the way it is. Another one about scamming storms. And again, I hope you guys are being careful with all these scammers out there. This was this young lady. Okay, now we're out to what I put out this morning. This was I can't remember her name, but it's For the Love of Humanity, if you keyword that. And she basically just sent me an email saying, look, I had this guy, I guess he was drunk, trying to get in the car, and she was screaming. Nobody would help her. The police did nothing. They said I was intoxicated. I think the whole moral of the story, and I didn't read any of your comments, there's 19 of them there, was that nobody would help, that she was screaming, scared. She's got this guy. She doesn't know if he's drunk, high, or what. And everyone just stood there. Nobody would help. Again, what type of what has happened to society? The breakdown of society. You had this guy from the Big Catch. I've never even seen this guy, the Big Catch. I wouldn't know who he is. I guess he lives here in Sarasota, but he went out and visited the first responders, which is a cool thing. The arrest. We did have something on the arrest that stood out. Child neglect. I hate seeing that, child neglect. No great bodily harm, but I'm sure a lot of mental harm after that. A few guys with batteries and stuff like that. Hate to see that. Clydesdales. I just received an email from Aaron. And if you're just joining it, you can ask questions, type it on the right. If I see them, I'll answer them. Like yesterday, we had issues, but I see we only have 2 that said hi and put the city there. And so we're good. Clydesdales, tomorrow, the 20th, 6 to 9, downtown Venice. If you're coming from Sarasota, just take the first bridge exit. Right there, after the first light, you'll see it, Centennial Park. If you're coming from Inglewood, Northport, South Venice, just take the bridge, the Circus Bridge. If you're coming out from Mayaca and you're taking Venice Avenue or something, I would hope you know how to get to the island. I'm going to try to do a live one of the Clydesdales. They come here every year. For some reason, I've never gone down there and shot a live video. So I'm always so busy. Hopefully I will tomorrow because I'd like to see them. They're pretty cool. All right, Jewish year's just started, which is a good thing. I guess it's big with the kids, teaching them about Jewish New Year. I listened to it. It was interesting with the whole honey and stuff. I didn't learn. I actually used to live up in Cleveland when I was in another life, another job. And we lived in Beechwood, which is predominantly Jewish. There's like 7 synagogues in a 2-mile area. And I was the only Italian. These guys were pretty extreme. And I'd be out there mowing my lawn on a Saturday. I had my Italian flag and stuff. And they would all look at me like I was a evil person because I was working on a Saturday, which you don't do. Hurricane Irma, again, triggering. That triggering kind of made me laugh. But PTSD is the serious. A lot of people are stressed out, man. A lot of people are really worried. My buddy down here at a restaurant, he has 3 trees on his roof. Nothing's getting done. Blue tarps. Make sure you're contacting that blue tarp. I put up a few stories. Google, go to my page, search blue tarp. You got some with the number, videos, and everything for your roofs. But a lot of people are worried. They haven't heard from FEMA. They're trying to call FEMA. I just saw something. Let me go to my Twitter just before I came on. FPL says 4,080 customers in Sarasota County are still without power. Are most of those you guys here in Venice, Northport, Sarasota? Where are you? I don't know. I was glad I went to the gym this morning and I was driving down Center Road, and from Pine Brook to about halfway down Center, the lights were off and you could tell they didn't have electric. And that's the first thing I noticed today is that they had electric. Replenishing emergency supplies. Look, we all realize this stuff's going to happen. Especially when you hear Rocket Man, when you hear Trump at the UN saying Rocket Man, and you hope, you pray there's no nuclear war. But I love doing national stuff, international. Who's that? It's Donnie, my old radio show guy. All right. We all know that something could trigger. He calls this guy Rocket Man. A lot of people, I do follow national, international, which I might do a little after this segment. And there's a lot of people believe that the only option Trump will have is if there's some kind of war is to go full-blown nuclear. And they say that because they say if you do strategic strikes, you're going to have a 2 million man North Korean army coming across the border. If you initiate it, you're going to have the Chinese brought in because they said if we initiate, not North Korea, then they're getting involved. So So what do? And a lot of people are saying you just can't do a strategic strike. You got to go all out, and you're going to kill millions of North Koreans. The environment's going to go to hell. It'll probably spark a third war. And that area is weird. You know, nobody talks about, mainstream media doesn't talk about the Chinese and Indians fighting over this little boundary there. And they're actually going at it, and they're moving troops, massive troops on the border, but you never see anything about it. 2 nuclear powers. But MSM doesn't cover that. Don't get me going on that, right, guys? All right, I was listening to the Venice City Council meeting today. I listened briefly to the Northport one. They were asking a lot of detailed questions about the Braves, because today's the final count. If they voted yes, which I think they did, it was around 1:30, moves forward, they're all done. They start the construction down in Northport. In Venice, it was over the comp plan, and you had people like McKeon and Gates didn't want any more public comments on it. They wanted to move forward. I just don't understand. They got a whole year. I don't know why they're pushing this so hard. I think it's more of a legacy type thing that Hollick and some of those guys are trying to do. Don't get me going on McKean, though. That guy, he looks so innocent. This is the same guy. He allocated, I think it was $60,000 to his sister's company from a fund that was given to him, $1 million. They said they could do it because this other entity was in control of it. And then a month later, they're voting what to do with that money, meaning the city did have control over it. Yet nobody had any problem with him allocating $60,000 over to his sister's company. And they say we're all about transparency. And they're not. They know that we're all dumbed down, that most of us are too busy. We're worried about Irma. We're worried about the freaking putting a food on the table. I'm worried about paying my kids' college bills, and we're not going to pay attention. All right, let's see. Maria, I put up a picture of Maria. Wasn't that devastating, some of the videos that came out of there? I'm just glad Maria hooked right, because it's back. I believe it's back up to Category 5. I go surfing in Puerto Rico, and I feel sorry for those guys. The snake, let's see what else we got here. Irma, Sarasota County, they're still doing some stuff. They said inside FPL customers in Sarasota County without power. Still make these calls if you can, 1-800-468-8243. So what, the over 4,000 people if you're watching, which I doubt. Or go down to the Robarts Arena. I know it has sucked being out without electric. I personally have had it. I feel for you guys. I mean, I lost for like 6 hours. But I got to tell you, FPL did a great job getting electric on, guys. I think all around it was a well-done job. And I think the county did a great job on I've said this before, the county did a great job, the entities. Even Venice, I'm not happy with Venice once they found out there was no food. They didn't get them food or water, and I actually had to do it. The MREs, I understood, came from them hearing that through me. And if you read email, Hollick even said, well, that was great that All Faith sent us 1,200 MREs unsolicited. So he's in email saying, well, we didn't do anything about this. We weren't going to do crap. We were going to let them sit there with no water and food. Another story talking about the unpaid mortgage balances that may be coming. Now, remember, you do get some relief. I think up to 3 months. I posted the link. Maybe do mortgages. I can't remember what it was under for the keyword the other day, but there's a program out there. Now, I think some bankers or people in the industry came on and said, that's true, and you're going to have to pay some more money. No, I'm not the main hero, Jennifer. Thanks. Hey, Dennis Weaver, you guys ever get arrested? Which I haven't. My only arrest was when I was 18 here in Venice for a beer can. I had an open container. Don't share that with my kids, though. Dennis is the man. What's your thing? All Faith Bonds? Dennis, type in the name of your company if you want. But he's the guy that everybody always gets mad at in South Venice. He has those political signs counting down how many days till Obama leaves. Great guy. I've known him since we were kids. You know, young whippersnappers are causing trouble around here. We talked about Northport. MPO wanting your input. Again, guys, you got to pay attention. If you want your word to be heard and you want to get your voice to be heard, you got to go out and do these public participations and get involved. Sex offender. I originally put that up all after our bail bonds. There you go, Dennis. Thank you. I put sex offenders. I felt bad for this lady. She went off on me for a little bit because when you guys send me stuff, she broke it up, and I saw the main text, which I put out there, and I personally thought, well, I don't think she wants her name out there, so I just did her first name. And I guess I didn't look above where it said anonymous, and I'm glad I just did the first name. Nobody knew who she was. I got rid of that, but she was still seeing something, I guess, an iPhone, or she said it was an iPhone, but it wasn't refreshing. And I think some of the comments weren't the nicest on there. So she wrote me and she pleaded with me. She's like, I really need help. I don't know where to turn. And you know, at first she was yelling at me on email, but hopefully you guys are giving her some good advice. There's 30 comments on there. She's really concerned, doesn't know where to turn. This is the one, you guys, that had her 14-year-old daughter got pregnant. It could happen to any of us. It doesn't make us bad parents. I know some people will probably say that. I got 2 daughters, and I don't think it makes you a bad parent. I don't think a 21-year-old should be with a 14-year-old, and et cetera, et cetera. Let me see. Email, another knife incident at Lamarck. You know what? This is where these political leaders really shoot themselves in the foot. Normally, when I've had issues, like once, I don't know if you guys remember a couple of years ago, there was a psychologist that was at Venice Elementary and Northport High. I got word that he was arrested going the wrong way, I believe on 75, high-speed chase and drunk. I put it out there. I made some calls to some people, and I found out that he had a court date in December. It was like December 17th for inappropriate sexual advances with his foster child. And I called Scott Ferguson at the school board, the guy that handles their media. I said, look, this is what I'm hearing. This is the court date. Do you know anything about that? No, we know nothing about it. And, you know, it's fake news. It's come from the scoop. So I put out it because I was confident in my sources and all the information. I had all my ducks in the row, and everybody said, you're a liar, you're jeopardizing this guy's career. So the guy continued to be at the school for an additional 8 months until after his court date and everything. Then finally the school, it got to the school and they validated it, and they said, oh yeah, we got to get rid of him because it all ended up being accurate. 8 months. This idiot was out there with this kid, allegations. He's working with young kids. And none of the idiots that told me that I'm fake news and I'm lying and I'm ruining his career came back and apologized, which they never do. But I don't know what just got me going on that one. Oh, it was the Lamarck thing. I don't know if it's right or not. You know, this idiot over here at this that paper that was slamming me the other day saying, oh, you putting out fake stuff about FPL paying because of the hurricane, paying for your food. I didn't put it out. Somebody sent it in. It could be accurate. It could be wrong. I said, you guys are intelligent enough to figure it out. And guess what? You guys were intelligent enough to figure it out. Just like this. But, you know, there could be some, I can't tell you how many times MSM puts stuff out. I look at it and I know it's not accurate. There's 2 sides to every story, 2 versions to spin it. And so, you know, I don't care if it's an individual writing me or MSM. You shouldn't just look at that. Do your own work. And that's why I put it all out. Everybody knows I'm a right-leaning libertarian, but I'll put out left stuff and right stuff because I may be wrong. My sources may be wrong. And I want you guys to make a decision. I don't want to make that decision for you guys, which MSM likes to put on information, propaganda, so that they can steer you down a road that they want you to go down. And I just don't buy into that. The county, some drama there. They call it the big drama, like anybody follows the county. I do. I listen to that crap all day long because I'm in front of a computer all day. But the big drama about their budget, it wasn't that much drama. All right, let's see. Florida tolls reinstated this Thursday. Yep. So if you want to go to the Skyway, do it before Thursday. Otherwise, you have to pay $1.50. Save an American flag. That was pretty cool. Yeah, and let's see. Here it is. Only 475 people on that one. God saves American flag during the flooding in Northport. It's a Northport guy. You got to love that. Yeah, 375 shares for a dog. Nothing on that one. I just don't get it. And I go back again to the 14-year-old. Nobody's sharing that one. Let's see. What do we got here? Cindy, chainsaw help. Hopefully you guys helped her. She's looking for some older lady that's out there trying to do some stuff, some whippersnapper stuff. All right. So that's it on the local news scene. Actually, I just saw some work come across for the job that pays the bills. So I'm going to go to that. But I might start doing like the first half hour because I've been on here, 24 minutes? I could talk forever. Local, which everybody wants. And then whoever wants to stay on for the other national. With national, I try to cover stuff that's not on MSM, like that whole China-India skirmish I was telling you about. North Korea is on MSM a lot, though. But I try to talk about issues that MSM are covering because I feel they don't have the arena or the voice out there. All right, and you could get all that at the uncensoredreport.com. uncensoredreport.com. I do put it on the same page with my logo. It's on the front page. You'll see it. Or you can like on Facebook, the Uncensored Report, where I share a lot of that information there. All right. Any more comments before I go? Nothing. Only 6 comments today. This is a cakewalk, man. And nobody called me an idiot today. That's even better. And Jennifer thinks I'm really the mayor. I don't know about that one. But all right, everybody, have a great day. This has been Frankie Abbruzzino with the Scoop News.